Yeah, yeah.
Long ago, in the dream time, Tiddalik, the largest frog ever known, awoke one morning with a huge thirst. He started to drink and drank until there was no fresh water left in the world. Soon, creatures everywhere were dying and trees were wilting because of the lack of moisture. All the animals pondered about their terrible plight. They held meetings to discuss what they should do. Finally, a wise old wombat suggested that if Tiddalik could be made to laugh, then maybe all the water would come out of his mouth. This was a good idea, the animals agreed. The animals all gathered by Tiddalik's resting place and tried for a long time to make him laugh. But it was in vain. The kookaburra told his funniest story. The kangaroo did his best shadow dancing. The emu made his funniest face. The lizard waddled up and down on two legs, making his stomach stick out. And the kangaroo even jumped over the emu. But Tiddalik was not amused. Then, when the animals were in despair, Nabunum, the eel who was driven from his favorite creek by the drought, slid up to the unresponsive frog and began to dance. As the dance got faster and faster, Nabunum wiggled and twisted himself into all sorts of knots and shapes to the amusement of Tiddalik. Tiddalik's eyes lit up and he burst out laughing. As he laughed, the water gushed out from his mouth and flowed away to replenish the lakes, swamps, and rivers again. Long ago, in the dream time, the center of Australia was an enormous sea. Soon, the world began to change as the ice was melting and the ocean waters were rising. But due to the lack of rain, the large expanse of water was shrinking and had become no more than an arid desert. Both humans and wildlife were starving. An old woman was searching for food when a kangaroo hopped close to her. She was about to hit him with her yam stick when a young boy called Wilkuda leapt from her stomach. The kangaroo was frightened and gained speed, but was chased by the boy who could run faster than the old woman. Wilkuda eventually caught and killed the kangaroo with a spear he had found on the sand. He was very tired from the chase and decided to sleep before he cooked the animal. When he woke some time later, he noticed that the kangaroo he caught was gone. He followed the tracks until he saw an old man cooking his prey in the distance. During his pursuit, spirits told Wilkuda that this animal had a magic skin and would create a lake when placed on the sand. He hurried towards the old man and told him he could eat the meat, but must hand back the skin. The old man gave the skin back, and Wilkuda hurried back towards the east with the skin in his mesh bag. He was joined by a strange bird that flew close to him. The little bird chattered firmly that he was not to throw the skin over important human tracks, and finally gave him permission to spread the skin over a flat, dry stretch of desert. The skin grew larger and larger and larger, while rapidly water flowed into it from some magical source. This is now Lake Eyre. The Wankamara people believe that Wilkuda was turned into stone on the bank of the lake he made for them. They say he still remains there today, and the rock resembles the young boy with his mesh bag containing the skin and his stone tomahawk. Quite close to him is another rock formation resembling a kangaroo. Long ago in the dream time, when the earth lay sleeping and nothing moved or grew, lived the rainbow serpent. Then one day, the rainbow serpent awoke and came out from beneath the earth. Refreshed from her long slumber, she traveled far and wide, leaving winding tracks from her huge body, and then returning to the place she had first appeared. On her return, she called to the frogs, "Come out! Come out!" The frogs came out slowly, as their bellies were full with water which they had stored during their long sleep. The rainbow serpent tickled their stomachs, and when the frogs laughed, the water spilled out all over the earth to fill the tracks of the rainbow serpent. This is how the lakes and the rivers were first formed. With water, grass and trees began to grow, which woke all the animals, who then followed the rainbow serpent across the land. They were happy on earth, and each lived and gathered food with their own tribe. Some animals lived in rocks, some on the vast plains, and others in trees and in the sky. The rainbow serpent made laws that they were all to obey, but some began to make trouble and argue. The rainbow serpent said, "Those who keep my laws will be rewarded. I will give them human form. Those who break my laws will be punished and turned to stone and will never walk the earth again. And those who broke the law became stone and were turned into mountains and hills. And those who were obedient were turned into human form and were each given their own totem of the animal, bird, or reptile from when they began. The tribes knew themselves by their totems: kangaroo, emu, carpet snake, and many, many more. So that no one would starve, the rainbow serpent also ruled that no man should ever eat of his own totem, but only of other totems. This way, there was food for everyone. The tribes lived together on the land given to them by the rainbow serpent, or mother of life, and knew the land would always be theirs, and no one should ever take it from them.